usually, when as of I know, like people who are onboards to this Hachion, right? Example, they'll be getting one dedicated link. Okay, there you
Okay.
will find all the notes, trainings, assignments, recordings. I mean, you'll be having some dedicated workspace. Okay, in Google Workspace, you'll be having one dedicated workspace, and there you can access everything.
Okay.
I mean, this you can reach out to this Priyanka for this.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me walk you through first. Okay. Tell me one thing. This, maybe it's like a silly, but I just want to confirm before, since you're into testing, and
Right.
I want to start from scratch itself, but just so right, just from data centers to cloud, how we got like transformed from the data centers to cloud, and why we need it, what's exactly cloud computing. So all these things, does you have like high level sounds knowledge, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Basic knowledge, like what is cloud computing, what are the different providers,
Yeah, what's
why
public
people
cloud and
are
hybrid
shifting
cloud?
yeah,
Um,
why people are shifting from on-prem to this
yes.
third-party services. Yeah, those things. Some small
Do
knowledge.
you know like understanding between IaaS and PaaS and SaaS services?
Very basic. Yeah, like I know it's IAS is like it's a tool for setting up the VMs. PaaS is for basically like if you want to deploy any apps, you use that PaaS, and then the SaaS is like the inbuilt softwares that they have that we are trying to use that.
Really, we don't use SaaS, to be honest. Okay, we don't
Okay.
use SaaS models. Everything in the past. SaaS is
Okay.
something like as a user, why we use SaaS until unless
Okay.
it has specific requirement.
Okay.
PaaS will stop until okay.
Hmm.
So key benefits of cloud computing. So this security risk, downtime, interdependency, cost management, limited control. See, the thing is that we are not here to discuss. I mean, okay, since you are not into like this real time practical training, what I'll
Hmm.
do, whatever the documentation I have, I'll be sharing with you. Okay, you just
Okay.
read that. Reading is complete. If you spend like 5 minutes, everything will get understand easily. There's nothing to be explained.
Okay.
I'm 100% sure if you go through this now, so it's very very easy. It's all about like understanding. But I'll make sure I'll try to show you like what exactly I asked, pass, SAS. But behind the scenes, what I want you mention to read is it's something what is cloud, benefits of cloud that we can't here to discuss, right? Also, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me start explaining you now. In today's session, I just want to explain one thing called
Okay.
hub and spoke architecture. Okay.
What
So
architecture? Sorry?
hub and spoke. Okay. So when
Okay.
people asking you example, since you put some experience, your backend experience into DevOps, definitely
Yeah.
you need to work on couple of architectures, not one architectures. Okay.
Hmm.
In
Hmm.
Azure, we have landing zones. Basically, the word
Hmm.
landing zone refers, the word landing zone refers to it's a kind of enterprise architecture. Okay.
Okay.
And when someone asks you, hey, since you were mentioned like your backend experience into Azure DevOps for five
Hmm.
years or 6 years or 7 years, what is the number? But
Hmm.
definitely, you'll be putting some experience, right? And
Yeah.
they'll be asking the first question is they'll be asking, hey, what kind of landings on your work means what kind of environment it is like means hub and spoke.
Hmm.
Hub and spoke typically, a lot of organizations will use. The main
Hmm.
benefit of hub and spoke is something, um, it has network control. Okay, network control, what I can say is, and user friendly,
Hmm.
and we have like what I can say, user friendly, it has network control, and we have like dedicated resource deployment.
Okay.
So what exactly an hub and spoke? Okay, what is mean by hub and spoke? Okay, now when it comes to Azure, when you're starting Azure, right, the
Hmm.
first thing you need to remember is tenant. The first word when it comes to Azure is tenant.
Tenant.
Under
Tenant.
exactly,
Okay.
tenant is the higher level of hierarchy. Okay, when someone speaks, tenant
Hmm.
will stand in the first level. Okay,
Okay.
Under tenant, you will be having subscription. Okay.
Okay.
Usually, you have one tenant. Under tenant, you have multiple subscriptions. That's how it's
Okay.
designed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Under subscription, you have like multiple resource groups. Okay.
Okay.
Multiple resource group. Under resource group, you can have multiple resources. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is the first thing you need to Azure when you are stepping into Azure. Okay.
Okay.
Let me explain you each and every step clearly. Okay.
Sure.
Tenant is something like an account. When you open a Facebook account, right, you'll be getting an administrative account. Okay.
Right.
When you open say Instagram account, you'll be getting an administrative account. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
So typically, that will stand as a higher level tenant. Under tenant, you can have a subscriptions. Multiple subscriptions means usually see. I'll just show you. I'll just, walk you through neatly so that you'll easily understand. Okay.
Okay.
Um, Eventually, for every organization, they do have non-prod setups and prod setups. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, they will be working on shared services. When I say shared services, means they will be working on multiple projects. Am I right or wrong? Okay.
Yes. Correct.
Multiple different projects. When I say multiple different projects, okay, multiple different projects. So what this subscription will do is it will give you isolation. What exactly isolation means? Example, you are working on one project called XYZ. Okay, you're working on this project, and for this XYZ is a healthcare product.
Mm-hmm.
It's a healthcare product.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's assume for this healthcare product, um, it's a client. It's a client onboarded to Azure. You have onboarded that particular client to Azure, and
Okay.
definitely for every client, for every product, you need to have a non-prod environment, which is like a dev
They were
test,
QA. Yeah.
dev test stage. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and coming to production, we have production environment. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, that's
So
right.
what exactly we'll do, right? Not in our case also. Everywhere you go, right, they'll be creating some non-prod subscription. So they'll be creating one non-prod subscription. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
under
Mm-hmm.
this, how many products they have, irrespective of they have 10 projects or 20 projects, they'll be
Mm.
keeping under this number subscription. Okay,
Yeah.
and they'll be creating one separate subscription for production. And how many projects we have? All the production subscription, all the production resources will deploy in production subscription. That's what
Yeah.
the isolation will happens. So if you
Okay.
ask me, Dinesh, non-prod runs on one subscription and production runs on one subscription.
Mhm.
Example, this particular healthcare product is running in non-prod subscription, that is fine, and it is
Mhm.
running in the production. So can we make it in network communication between these two? Yes, we can make.
Okay.
We
Between the
can
two.
make a network connection between these two subscriptions.
Mhm.
Subscription level networking peering will be completely possible. That's where the communication will be happen and the resources interlink will happens. Okay, it's all about two different places we are deploying. That's it. But eventually the pipeline will be same.
Okay.
So any questions here, or do you want me to repeat like
Oh, no, good, no good. The previous screen, can I take a screenshot, or that whatever you drew will come as a part of the notes? The previous screen where you had the tenant subscription, that you had that hierarchy, right? Do you have that screen?
yeah, I have the screen actually.
Can I take a screenshot?
Yep. No, actually, that's fine. You can take the screenshots, but I'll be sending the notes also.
Oh, the same thing I'll get in the notes. Okay, that's
Yep,
fine. Okay, okay, that's good.
definitely.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, I don't want to waste
So
time writing.
no
Yeah.
problem. So we can make a pipeline. The pipeline will be same. Okay.
Okay.
And example. Now you got it two different clients, Sushil. Okay, you got a client with some X, and you got a client with Y. Okay,
Okay.
and X will be, so what you will do, right? For the X, you'll be creating one separate subscription so that the billing will be isolated. The billing will be completely, and even subscription. Or okay, the main reason creating two separate subscription for the clients is you can get isolation first thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and also tell me one thing. People will be onboarded, like few people, separate people will be there to work for one client, and there will be separate people onboarded to work on different client. Am I right or wrong? So
Yes.
the
Yes.
access control also will make easy. The access control. Okay. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
example, the complete infrastructure, the complete access control will be isolated to the other project, so that there will be no access issues, or there will be no billing issues. Because if any client asking, usually if you are running some client application, this is something, if you're running some client application in your infrastructure, definitely you need to send the billing together different. Okay, in
Hmm.
that case the billing will be also separate. You can send the billing amount so that all the resources which are under the subscription, that is dedicatedly used for the X client.
Okay.
That's where subscription comes into picture. Subscription can be used for many ways. The first way is something like isolating the clients or isolating the environments. For the non-prod, you can create a non-prod subscription, and if you have 100 projects also, that 100 projects you can put in non-prod subscription. You can
Okay.
create a production subscription, and you can put all the 100 projects up into production. Because when you develop a product, obviously if it is a client based product, means definitely we should have a non-prod and production. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
So that's where the production will goes to production subscription, non-prod will go to non-prod subscription. But if you ask, there's like, can we have like only one subscription? Yes, we can have. That's the best. No, the reason why I'm mentioning is, we can have in one subscription both non-prod and production. But the best practice, the bigger companies and the bigger projects, the shared service projects, will be creating separate only.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
worked with the pods. Right? Pods you mentioned on that day. You
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
another day you was mentioning some you know about pods. Yeah, the
Yeah.
pods, and I worked with AT&T, and I worked with other client, like 3 to 4 clients I worked. Okay, I just
Okay.
I got access to all the infrastructure in Azure. When I
Mm-hmm.
was when I was like checking into all the subscription history, okay, there I
Mm-hmm.
clearly found that they are maintaining separate subscription for non-prod, separate for production. That's how
Okay.
the design when you go to the bigger projects.
So that's a good practice, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
that's exactly, that's a good practice. The only
Okay.
thing when we come to discussion, see, basic things anyone knows actually, but
Hmm.
these good practices only I'll be like showcasing to you. That's where these things you need to highlight.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now this is one thing. I hope like subscription part you understood and tenant part you understood.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me
Yes.
walk you through resource group part. So
Hmm.
in Azure, if you want to
Mhm.
create any resource, means example, now I want to create a server. Okay, in Azure, I want to
Okay.
create a database.
Okay.
I want to create a keyword. I want to
Mhm.
create a storage account. If I want to create any resource, the first thing you need to create is resource group. See, if you ask me what exactly a resource group means, you are purchasing a TV or fridge or sofa or AC, where you are putting Sushil, in your home, you will be placing all the things. Am I right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
resource group was like same thing. It's like grouping of resources. Grouping of resources. Now, what mean by exactly grouping of resources means, see, now you are just purchasing the sofa, you are purchasing the bed, you are purchasing some other things, and you're placing in your home. Now, what I'm doing, I'm just creating a DB, I'm creating a storage account, I'm creating another server, and just I'm putting into one resource group. That's it. So
Okay.
resource group also will give you isolation again. Again, this subscription will give you isolation, and the resource group also will give you isolation. Example, if you ask me what kind of isolation it will give you, example, I'll say now. uh,
Just still thinking you.
okay, that's not for now. Okay, that's for like tomorrow's.
Okay.
Not an issue.
Okay.
So what I mean to say is,
Hmm.
now I'm working for a product.
Yeah.
Let me put a good design to you. I'm working for a product. That product name is a healthcare. Or like let's think Uber, na? Uber. Okay. Uber.
Okay.
So for this Uber, definitely, people will be accessing uber.com from the browser. They'll be
Yeah.
getting the Uber page. But behind the scenes, you will be seeing uber.dev.com, uber dot uber.test.com, uber.stage.com, uber.com. Am I right or wrong? These
Yeah. That's
URLs
okay.
will be private
Hmm.
URL. Okay. These
Hmm.
URLs, the internal URLs. Once
Hmm.
this, after the successful testing of these URLs, they know this will become live. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, resource group, see, okay, let me ask you one simple question, Shishil. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
For this Uber, right? You have Uber Dev, you have Uber Test, you have Uber Stage, and you have finally Uber.com. Tell
Yeah.
me, for this Uber Dev example, this particular Uber I deployed in the virtual machine server. Now tell me,
Mhm.
the Dev test stage will be having separate virtual machines, or it will be like same virtual machine?
We can have the same since a non-prod, right? We can have the same like we can have three different VMs, but it can be under the same group manager. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, no. Yeah, I mean, like, just want to repeat my question again. So,
Okay.
Uber Dev, Uber Test, Uber Stage. These are three different environments, okay? Three
Okay.
different environments. When I said Dev, you must be knowing, like, as a tester, Dev is
Yeah.
a separate environment, Test is a separate environment, Stage is a separate environment, Production is a separate environment. Now,
Correct.
think that Uber, I want to host in a virtual machine for now, okay? Tell
Okay.
me now, for development, you need to configure separate virtual machine. For test, you need to configure separate, or can you use like one machine for all the non-prod and production? Or it should be like one for non-prod, one for production?
One for non-prod, one for prod we can use.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's
All four
completely
separately.
different infrastructure for separate, not
Okay.
different. I can say separate infra for
All
separate
four.
environment, because
Mm.
usually in development environment only development deployments will be happen. In testing, you can't test the development one, right? You need to test the testing application where the website how it works. Example, if it comes to Uber,
Mm.
the pickup location is working fine, or the drop location is working fine, the payment is working fine. There are certain things, certain parameters, there are certain um, tests, that tester will do, okay, usually. So
Right.
that will be completely deployed in different environment, and the stage is
Okay.
like pre-production, and that will deploy in same environment. Only thing what you can see common is database. For non-prod, you can have one database, and for
Mm.
production, you can have one database. Database
Mm.
is something you can maintain like for non-prod one and production one. But the thing is that the underlying infrastructure, is it like a virtual machine or app service or Kubernetes? Okay, it
Mhm.
can be not same. It can be like completely different.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now for that, right, development example for development environment, you want like five things. Five things.
Mm.
Example, I'm saying, okay. For
Sure.
development environment, you want five things to run your Uber application. Okay.
Okay.
What these five things example? The five things are like a server, and one is database, one is storage account, and one is some load balancer, and other one is some kind of a Redis cache, something like, okay.
So these are
Now
all different resources, right?
exactly, different inventory. You call it as inventory. Okay,
Mm.
inventory means different
Mhm.
resources or different services. You can call services resources. It's the same. Like we use like different terminology, but the thing is that same. Now,
The
what I
last
will do?
last one is related to Linux, sir. Redis cache. Red,
Yeah, Redis cache. Yes.
that is
Redis,
Linux, right? Okay. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Next, correct.
Okay.
So
Mm.
now for development environment, I want server, DB, storage account, load balancer, Redis cache. Am I right? And for
Yes.
test also, then it will be same inventory, no? Again, I want like one DB or one storage account, one load balancer. Okay.
Right.
Again, for stay also one more thing. So now what
Correct.
I'll do, I'll just create a resource group like this. RG. The resource group, the naming convention we need to follow for the resource group is RG. First, RG means resource group. Okay.
Okay.
And the location where you are hosting your this resources means we
Mm.
have like regions and zones concept in cloud. Okay.
Mm.
Usually,
Mm.
region means if you take region as India, under
Mhm.
India, you'll be having like zones, like Mumbai is one zone, Hyderabad
Yeah.
is one zone, right? So
Mhm.
typically, in US, East US, West US, Central US, we have, right?
Yeah.
So the location you need to mention like RG East US first thing, and
Mhm.
the resource group hyphen the location name hyphen the next thing comes into project name. Example,
Okay.
if you're working for the Uber project,
Yeah.
Uber hyphen dev. So
Mm.
people will see, okay, by seeing this resource group name, people can easily identify that, okay, this resource group Uber dev has all the development related resources.
Understood.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Mm.
same thing goes for RG, EUS, dev, test. This is for test environment resources. Okay. Same
Mm.
thing for RG, EUS, dev, stage. It is for stage related. And same thing for production, vice versa. Like that, how many environments you have, resource group will make you isolating that particular environments by,
No.
creating separate resource group. Like under that dev resource group, you can put all the dev resources. Under the test resource group, you can put all the test related services.
Okay.
That's how, by seeing example. If there's a team who are onboarded to who are onboarded, like, recently, as a freshers. Okay, for them,
Mhm.
right? You can't directly give the production resource group. Am I right or wrong? First,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
give for development only. Okay, then in Azure, the beauty of permission is you can give resource group permission. Under resource group, you have one server. Example, you can
Mhm.
give also permission to that server also. You have
Mhm.
granulation. Okay, you have good granulation. So you have like control. You have good control. Providing permission. Actually, if you want to restrict to one resource, example, one person is joining company. Okay, now you want to provide access to the development resource group. But
Mm.
in development resource group, you have one server. You have
Mm.
DB. You have storage account. You have Redis cache. You have a load balancer. Okay,
Yeah.
but you don't want to give DB. You just want to give only for server. In that
Mm.
case, you can also give server level access.
Mm.
Even though he has permission to this resource group, he can only access to this server, not DB again. Until unless you provide access to DB, he can't access the DB permission.
So that access level, we can give it at the resource level, right? We can.
Exactly. You can give, okay, if you want to give all the things, example, you want to
Mm.
give server, DB, storage account, then you need to give permissions to this resource group. If you give permissions to this resource group now, under that
Everything.
resources, how many you have, all the resources will get accessible.
I see.
If you
Okay.
want to restrict to one server, means
Mm.
that you need to go to the server. In that server, you can make you access to that particular resource. Even if you
Oh,
want to give only DB, yes, for DB also you can give access. Even if you want to give to storage account, you can give. Even if you want to give for Redis, you can give. So you can
okay.
give resource level permissions. You can give resource group level permissions also.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Got it?
Yeah.
Uh, just like, a minute. Okay, it was not take much time.
Sure. Sure. No problem.
That's completed. So yeah, that much granulation, that much control we have over research group. Okay,
Okay.
this is
Okay.
something you need to understand. Okay, now
Yeah.
I think you are good with this all these things. Tenant is like,
Yeah.
higher level. under tenant you can have subscriptions. You can create one subscription for non-prod and you can create one subscription for production. Okay. And
Yeah.
resource group is something, grouping of resources. Example, if you want to isolate a separate dev resource group, you can create a dev resource group. If you want to create a separate for test, you can create a test. Like that, you can create n number of resource group according to requirement. It's
Yeah.
completely, depends upon your requirement. You will create resource groups, and under that resource group, whatever the inventory you want. Example, when I say inventory, when I call inventory, the term inventory refers to the infrastructure or resources or the components. Example,
Okay.
you want the key walls, you want, like in Azure we have many services. Okay, I'm just referring to only key wall, DB, all those things, but eventually we will talk about other services also. Okay,
Okay.
these services usually, we use regular. DB is something we want 100%. Storage account
Mm.
we want, and we want like server. Okay, all these things are the higher level resources. Okay.
Okay.
uh, yeah, so now try to understand the hub and spoke architecture now. Okay.
Yeah. Hub and spoke.
Okay, hub means, what exactly means hub means? Okay, um this is the first box is hub. What is hub?
One of the landing zone, right? This is
Yeah, it's one landing zone, exactly. Okay. It's working fine, I'm sure. Same thing. Okay, that's fine. You can ignore it. That's
These
not
people
an.
are from on-site or they're from offshore?
Sorry?
Whoever is speaking, they're from on-site or offshore?
No, they are from onset. They're from US.
Oh, that's why they're troubling you.
Yeah, he's from US actually. He's from US. Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's not a client product. Okay, that's like a, they are working on POC. I don't mind, this POC product at all. If it is,
okay.
unless it's like something client use, right, I need to jump into that call definitely. But if it's
Oh,
something they are doing working on POC, yeah, that's I can connect with him after 1 hour also. Not an
okay.
issue. Okay,
Got it.
so let's talk about the hub. Okay, what
Hmm.
exactly means hub is, here hub is like again a resource group. Okay, hub is
Hmm.
again a resource group. So why we keep hub resource group means, she'll just try to understand. If you not understand, this you can ask me like 100 times also. Okay,
Okay, sure.
so in hub we will put all the common resources. Common resources.
Hmm.
Example, if you ask me, Dinesh, what is common resources? I'll tell you.
Hmm.
In Spoke, all our workloads will be running. Now I'll tell you what exactly a hub and what exactly is Spoke. Okay.
Hmm.
Now think, I want to start a project. Okay. I want to start
Okay.
a project. Now for the project is, I'll just draw one more diagram here. So for to just to clarify, I mean, just to make it easy to understand. Okay.
Okay.
I want to start a project called, let's think Uber only. Okay. Uber.
Hmm.
And parallelly, I'm working for one more product called Swiggy. Okay.
Hmm.
And I'm working for one more client called, there's a one more client XYZ application. Okay.
Okay.
These three applications I'm working. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
eventually, I got these three projects. Currently, I'm handling in my infrastructure, Azure. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Uber, I will deploy separate infrastructure. Am I correct? Separate
Correct.
environment, separate infrastructure. Okay.
Yeah.
Separate environments and separate infrastructure. When I say separate infra and also separate environments and separate subscription. Okay. Separate resource groups. Okay.
Correct.
And for Swiggy also, for Swiggy client also, I'll be maintaining one more separate same thing.
Mm.
Copy and paste.
Mm.
And for XYZ application also, just same thing. Separate infra, separate environment, separate resource. Okay.
Okay.
Just again, I'll just copy here and paste it here. Okay.
Mm.
Now, tell me, Sushil, one thing. The infrastructure for Uber, the infrastructure for Swiggy, the infrastructure for XYZ application, that must be secured. Okay. It is not like a publicly deployed clusters. Those should be private. No one should be accessible. People can be accessible only on two ways, which is like, one way called VPN, virtual private network. I hope you know VPN. When you connect your office lab to VPN, then
Yes.
only you'll be accessible your office related network or office related documents or office related applications. Am I right?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Mm.
Or we have one more way called Bastion. Bastion or Gem server. What exactly it refers to, right? Usually, we will set up one Bastion host. Bastion is like, we can call intermediate server. Intermediate server. Okay. What intermediate server will do, right? This. Okay. Now, I just want to connect to some Uber infrastructure. I just want to connect to Swiggy. I just want to connect to XYZ. For connecting of all these three infrastructure, I'll set up one server. Okay.
Mhm.
Behind the scenes, before three infrastructure, I'll set up one server. Okay. One server in the same network. All these three will be deployed in one network now. Under that same network, then I'll be deployed one more server. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, people, example, DevOps team. See, usually developers will not access to infrastructure. First thing.
Yes. Mm.
Testers, they don't want to access the infrastructure. Who will access? Admins.
Mm.
Admins and DevOps and some other high-level teams only need access to the infrastructure. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if they want to access these private resources, example, first they
Mhm.
need to log into this gem server. First, they log into this gem server. From
Mhm.
this private server, they'll be connecting to the workloads.
Mhm.
It is not like from their local to, example, I'm sitting here. I can't connect from a local to directly here.
Mm.
Even though if I'm having my VPN, I can't connect. First, I need to log into this server. From
Mhm.
this server to this connection.
Okay.
Now, what I'll do, see, to access Swiggy, to access Uber, to access XYZ, I'm using common server, right? So this
Yes.
common server I'll be putting in the hub. Simple. This common server I'll be putting in the hub. That server name called what? Bastion host.
Mm.
Bastion or intermediate server. This
Okay.
server is like a acting as a mediated server. Once you log into mediated server, from there you can access the Swiggy, you can access the Uber, you can access the XYZ also. Okay.
Mm.
Similar way. If anything you want, see now a server is coming into picture. We'll be having a lot of resources which you want to keep common. Okay. So that all the common resources will be keeping into the hub. Now
Okay.
tell. Okay. So here Uber is different, Swiggy is different, XYZ. Those three are different applications. Okay.
Mhm.
Now tell me one more scenario where you work on similar. Sorry, you work on example. You are working on a Uber project. Okay, single project now. Let's think about it's a multiple project now. Let's think about single project now. Okay,
Mhm.
let's say only you are working on Uber project. So for this Uber also, you'll be having environments, right? One dev, one more like test,
Yeah.
one more QA, one more QA, and one more production. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
Now tell me, in dev environment, in test environment, in stage and production, does the image will be same or image will be different? When I
Image in the
say
same way, the Docker image.
exactly Docker image, correct.
The Docker image will be same, but the environment variables will be different, right?
Perfect, very good. because the environment variables are completely depend upon the different infrastructure, because you use different infra now. For
Yeah.
development you have different see, environment variables will not be same. Each environment we have will separate key vault or separate client id, separate subscription id, I mean sorry, client id all same. But since each infra has different db, okay,
Yeah.
db connection things will change, all these things will change, environment variables will change. But the high level thing you easily understood that docker image is same, because the image gonna be same across all the environments. No, it's
Yeah.
not like dev is something different. And see, same image will be developed in a development environment and tested in test environment, and it will be verified in a QA environment, it will deploy to production environment. Am I right? So
Correct.
similar thing, since it is same image, now tell me if you're working on what. See, here for Swiggy there will be separate image. I mean, each product has different image. Okay,
Correct.
under that product you have like dev, test, stage, that is same, but each
Yeah.
product has different image. Now let's consider a single product. Now Uber has same image for dev, Uber has same image for QA, same image for production. Am I right or wrong? So in
Correct.
that case we can keep a common container registry.
Mm.
We can keep a common container registry where we can store all our images. Common
Oh,
container
okay.
registry.
Okay.
Okay, few things I'm 100% sure you'll be understanding since the first session, and few
Mm.
things you'll be still confused. I'm 100% sure that confused things all will be get sorted in the next sessions. So
Okay.
once I started showing the real-time architecture, this is something I'm trying, okay? But
Mm.
when once we completed like first two sessions or three sessions, I'll be like showing my current architecture. Okay, so then
Okay.
you'll be understanding. If you have any doubts, also you'll be clarifying there. Okay.
Okay. Understood.
So
Sure.
it's a content registry. If you
Mm.
want to maintain a common DB for non-prod, you can have a common DB here. Not only for database, whatever
Mm.
the resource. For example, I just put like one bash notion on content registry. There
Mm.
are many other services which you can want to put common. That common things will be going to hub. That's it. The
Okay.
specialty of the hub is you can put all the common resources. And what
Okay.
about the spoke? Workloads. Workloads means all the virtual machines or app services or Kubernetes cluster or key vault, anything the application needs a resources. Whatever the resources that need to run the application, that will be deployed in the spoke.
Okay.
And you can create a network communication between hub and spoke easily. That we call a peering means you are establishing a connection between two resources,
Okay.
because hub we have common resource called one server. From that server you want to access this workload spoke, right? So in
Yeah.
that case you need to make a connection, right? Okay, the one spoke is fine. If you have three spokes, means example, one spoke is like Uber, second spoke is Swiggy, third spoke is like XYZ. You want to
Mhm.
access all the spokes from one hub now, then you need to create a connection between those three spokes to one hub. Am I correct?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, that's where this VPN peering will be get involved.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of companies will use this hub and spoke architecture, okay, to be honest.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'll be sharing the hub and spoke architecture notes also, okay? Don't worry, okay? I mean,
Sure.
typically, I can't cover like 100 things. Maybe I can cover like 70 to 80% of the things. The 120% things I'm missing, right? You can get the documentation. I mean, if you're not understanding, you can raise a question in the next session. Dinesh, I was like, having doubt on this point. But main things, what I need to cover, I'll be covering definitely, Sushil.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Dinesh.
The document will give you more insights about this more. But this is
Yeah.
something high level. This is something high level, in depth level also. I'm getting into high level to in depth level. Okay, don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is that you can have it multiple spokes, but only you can have one common hub. Hub will
Yeah.
not going to be changed. Hub will be like a static.
Okay.
And you want to change is something happening on spokes only,
Mm.
because example, spoke one spoke means I mentioned like example, you got a Uber client and you're
Yeah.
getting a more client call, uh you know any other client like Mintra. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
for Mintra maybe they don't want like storage account, you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want like a DB also, they don't want, we don't know. See, an example
Mm.
I'm taking. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's where the spokes will keep changing, but the hub will not change, because hub is something common resources. These resources are meant for to access these workloads. That's it.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
Even if you keep like your even if the 10 clients added, even if it's 100 clients added also, these things will be they remain same. Okay.
But the person who's accessing the hub, say for example, Uber guy is trying to access the container registry, he will
Okay.
not be able to see the registry for the Mintra client, right?
Very good question. Actually, that's where the problem is. That's why I mentioned clearly here. If you work on same client, the
Hmm.
you will put content registry common.
Hmm.
If it is like multiple products, multiple different clients, na, you can't
Yeah.
have same content registry actually.
Okay. Then they need to have a separate hub.
Yeah, they need to have a separate hub, or in the hub itself, they can have separate content registers actually.
Oh, like they can give some
Have,
access to specific. They can create and give. Okay.
yes, they can have like one container separate registry for Uber, one more container registry for Swiggy, one more container registry for that one.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, um, we have completed understanding subscription, tenant, resource group, resource, and we have completed hub and spoke model introduction. And
Yeah.
yeah, one more thing, main thing is this hub will be deployed in different unit and the spoke will be different in different unit. All the spokes, how if you have 10 spokes, you need to deploy 10 different minutes. You can't deploy in the same minute. What if you deploy in the same minute means you can't do the network connection. That's
You said
what you need.
VNet, right? VNet.
Exactly minute.
Okay. Virtual net. Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. What's a network? Okay. So what I'm trying to say is VNet. Yeah. So what exactly even though if it is under same subscription, even though it's a different subscriptions, you need to set up in different minutes because if you have two different minutes only, then only you can make a network communication. Okay. If
Okay.
if hub and spoke deployed in same minute, then you can't make the connection. That is
Okay.
one more thing. I'll be writing it down. Okay. Hub and spoke should be deployed on different VNets, irrespective irrespective of subscription, irrespective of same subscription. You need to deploy things on different VNets. Okay,
Okay.
then only VNet peering can action. Yeah, yeah. So now let me just walk you through the deployment models in Azure.
Okay.
Okay, how many deployment models we have in Azure? I've heard about SaaS. Just we discuss about IaaS and PaaS.
Hmm.
IaaS and PaaS. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if the main thing a DevOps should engineer should have is good networking skills, good Linux skills, and good um, deployment skills. Deployment skills is the one more thing you need to have master. Okay,
Okay.
because example, I'll tell you.
Hmm.
IaaS deployment. If someone asking, hey, in you want to deploy a application, I want to have a complete control of my in server and also control of my application. Okay,
Yeah.
now what kind of service you guide them? I mean, what kind of service you search them? IaaS means example, a virtual machine. Okay,
Hmm.
PaaS means a app service. Example, app
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
Now tell me, being a developer, I'm just asking to one question to Sushil. Hey Sushil, I just want to deploy my Java application, but I
Hmm.
want like complete control on the server also because I want to do lot of changes on the server level and application level. I want
Hmm.
control. Means in this case, what kind of deployment you suggest, Sushil?
Mm, deployment, uh, the sense like both IAS and PaaS.
No, you should deploy IaaS because in IaaS,
Okay.
right, usually what you get right
Mm-hmm.
in IaaS means you just need to create a server. Okay,
Okay.
server, networking, all things should be deal from our end only. Our end
All
only.
the resources basically. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, you're purchasing a server. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing Azure is doing. Okay, you are only purchasing, you're only renting a server. On that
Okay.
server, if you want to deploy Java application, you only need to set up Java application manually. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
set up Maven for dependency build tool, you need to set up Maven manually. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
set up web server, you need to set up web server manually, because you are only getting an empty server, Sushil. On top of that empty server, you are installing all the packages what you want for the
Mm-hmm.
application. On top of that, again, you are doing application configuration. When you set up Java, when you install Java package, definitely you need to set up environment variable, right? So you need to configure all the env variables. Everything is like you have control there. You have control, right? You can change if you want to change some in the environment levels. You can change. If you want to install specific version, you can install. Am I right or wrong? So
Correct.
when it is server means you will have more control. Okay, because here Azure is not involving much. Everything is you involving. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
coming to PaaS service, they Azure provides a PaaS service called web app. Okay, what is
Mm-hmm.
that web app? If you ask me now, this will make developers life very easier.
Mm-hmm.
Developers life very easier. Okay, very easier, because they don't even bother about the infra. They'll
Okay.
just look into code only. Example,
Mm.
I'll tell you. If you want to host a Java application on the server side, you need to set up like server, networking, virtual machine, all things I told, right? Java package. Okay.
So
Now,
each of them are one resource, right? Like virtual
sorry.
machines. Each of them is a separate resource, right? In IaaS, like whatever you listed there.
Correct. See, each of them is resource, but I'm talking when you log in. Example, you want to host your Java application on server Fusion. Okay.
Okay.
What
Mm,
you'll do, you'll just log into the server, and after
mm,
logging into the server, you need to install Java application manually. Like you need to install Java dependencies, and you need to do some configuration. Am I right or wrong? But
correct.
when it comes to PaaS service, no, nothing. Just it's
Mm,
all about, hey, I have a Java application. I have a Java application. You will just tell to Azure, my code is there here. Just deploy it. That's it. The
mm,
Java behind the scenes, app service also running on one server. Okay, app service also running on one server. But you don't need to install Java application. You don't need to install Maven. You don't need to install like any configuration.
mm.
Everything, whatever the configuration you need to deploy the Java application, that particular thing will be taken care by Azure.
Okay.
Okay, in that's why developers life will become more easy. See, here you need to concentrate, you need to focus on the infrastructure also. Okay,
Mhm.
while creating server, you need to do a lot of things. Okay, but here, no, nothing. You don't need to look at server. Actually, you don't need to look at server. Just need
Okay.
to, you'll say like this. Okay, hey, when you deploy an app service, right, when you host an app service, simply what it will tell, hey, here is my Java application. Select Java version. Select Java version, and then uh, take my code from here. Take my code from here,
Mhm.
and if any DB details you have, add DB details.
Mhm.
Deploy. That's it. But there, server creation, in application installment, application install, or up the server application install, and any dependency configuration you need to do. All those things you need to do manually. But here, simple. You need to focus on your code itself rather than developers. If developers are, oh my god, if the developers are focusing on the infrastructure, it's very
Mhm.
tough for them. They don't want to. Developers never want to deal with the infrastructure kind of things. They want to
So
focus.
basically, the workflows, like we set up the infrastructure, and then we pass on the app service access.
Exactly. See, app service is something. PaaS service, platform as service means. See,
Mm,
IaaS, infrastructure as service. You are just purchasing the server. When it comes to PaaS, now what happening? Platform as service means the Azure platform is providing, right? Platform as a service.
mm,
Platform is what Azure platform. Am I right? The Azure platform is providing a service means typically Azure is managing a lot of things.
correct.
In IaaS, no. IaaS is completely a user control environment. Only,
Yeah.
the data center, cooling part, networking part, these things will be taken care by Azure. But only this installation, everything that As a user only, we need to take it. Okay. In the web app, which is in the PaaS service, um, which is in the PaaS service, you won't be like things will be like very easy. That's why once we start a session, I'll take a small Java application. I'll deploy in server. You'll understand how we are deploying in server. Then same
Okay.
application we are deploying in the app service also. Then comparing these two deployment models, you need to understand. Okay, same application I deployed in the server. I just followed this process. Same application I deployed in the app service. It's a very quick process. Like that, I'll be showing. Don't worry.
So I think which part these days people are taking the app service, right?
Exactly. Nowadays, everything is app service. See, who are still running on the servers? Tell me, Sushil. Everyone are moving to Kubernetes, app service, right? Completely PaaS services only they are moving, right?
But we need
Still,
to set
a lot of,
set up the
huh?
app service also for them, right? Like as
Sorry.
DevOps, like, what is our role in PaaS, like in the app
Yeah, I
service?
mean, this PaaS service also should be created from our end. For this PaaS
Oh,
service also, there's a
mhm.
creation. That creation part is easy, but that also need to create from our end only. PaaS
Oh,
service should be created from our end, and
mhm.
behind the scenes to get automated, we need to create pipelines. And also
Mhm.
we need to like do auto scaling on app service. A lot of changes will be there. No, see, it's not like one change. When you
Mhm.
work with some service, there will be a lot of configuration things. Okay, you need to do.
Understood. Yeah, understood. Okay.
This is like I just want to stress on deployment models in in Azure. Okay,
Sure, sure.
we
Yeah.
can discuss like more further on
Yeah,
this topic.
yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty much social for today.
Mhm.
Okay, I
Yeah,
hope
that's fine.
I
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
some good
that
topics.
was a nice start. Yeah.
So let's have like one more session tomorrow,
Yeah.
and one more session on Thursday, and one more session on Friday also. But Saturday and Sunday we don't be having any sessions, right, Sushil? Are we having?
If you are available, maybe we can have like we can discuss like based on your availability and my availability. If you are both are available, we can have a quick session if it's okay with you.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
we can have like 40-minute session whenever you're free. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
That's
else in the worst case, if any one session is missing on Friday, I can definitely compensate on weekend when you're available. That is for sure. Okay.
perfect. Perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Example, Monday, we just miss one session. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if it goes smooth, that's fine. So 4 days, I'm hoping every session will go smooth. Okay. And
Sure,
Saturday, Sunday, I'll just compensate the Monday session. Okay.
sure,
So
sure.
there will be like 5 sessions per week. Don't worry.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll just you can ask the recording to
To
this
Priyanka. Yeah.
Priyanka, and whatever the diagram that I've drawn in front of you, I'll be sending in the document. Don't worry.
Perfect, perfect. Along with the, you said there is one more PDF document, right? Like
Share
whatever.
export to link,
Yeah.
copy link. Is it something I can share with WhatsApp? Is it fine for you?
Yeah, yeah. That should be fine. Yeah.
Fine, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's fine.
Yep. Can you check now whether you're able to see the content?
So I'm opening my phone only, but I can see, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see it actually.
See, right?
Is it going down? Wait, let me forward that to my email once again. Because in my
Yeah,
phone,
just save it somewhere, okay, please.
sorry.
And you'll
Yeah,
be you have like previous content also will be getting to you. Just ignore the content, okay? That's for other classes, okay?
which content? Oh, in the entire this.
The other content will be getting into you, okay? This is
Okay,
something
okay.
to training sessions for other people also, right? So you can ignore that and you can have the focus on your side, okay?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Vishnu. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.
So same time also it works, right? I mean, hoping.
Yeah, yeah. This should be fine. The same time also works for me. Yeah. I don't.
Okay, either 7 p.m. also works, 6 p.m. also works, right?
7 p.m. 6 p.m.
So,
6
my
p.m.
PM, my 7 p.m. You're 8:30.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That should be fine. But next week we'll go to daylight saving. That will be too early for me. 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, like in that case, like my 6
8,
p.m. I think.
8. No, no, no. So next week, right? Your 7 p.m. Like now it is 7 p.m. It's like my morning 8:30.
Yeah,
But
next.
next week it'll be
Yeah,
like very early for me. 7:30 a.m. It will be for me.
correct. Got it. No worries. Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on. I mean, we are chatting, right? So we can
Yep. Okay.
work on it.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye bye.